Hi, welcome to Bite Size JeffTV. I'm trying out a new format. It's a bit shorter, not like the longer videos that I did before, and I just want to discuss technique and do it in this kind of bite-sized chunk so it's easier to get your head around. Today we're going to talk about Khatra. Khatra is a Persian word for a technique that you use when you're at the point of release when you're using a horse bow. First earliest reference to it, which is why it's called Khatra in the Western world, is a Mamluk archer called Taybogha. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He wrote a book 1368 called Archery for Beginners. It was kind of published in the Western world as Saracen Archery by Lathan and Patterson. It's quite an interesting book and discusses various ways of shooting horse bows and the techniques that are in there. And I thought I'd sort of cover his version of Khatra. I'll probably do another short bite-sized JeffTV episode with some of the other versions of Khatra that I know about. Anyway, to start off with this one, so what Khatra is when you release the arrow, so as you release the string and the arrow goes forwards, your thumb is the arrow shelf. You can see this thumb is the arrow shelf. What happens is there's potential for the arrow to strike the arrow pass and to strike, you see the fletching, or strike your thumb there. And if it strikes the arrow pass, the arrow could deviate away from the way it's supposed to go, and it could also if the flight hits your hand too hard, then it could also deviate the arrow. But in both instances you're actually losing velocity. So and Taybogha actually mentions that when you use Khatra, it gives a sensation that the arrows travel faster, they have a greater cast. I would say it's not so much that the technique is pushing the arrow faster forwards, because I don't think that's, by the laws of physics, I don't think that's going to work. But what I think it means is that as you release the arrow, it has less drag given to it by your hand and by the arrow pass. If you think about it, if the arrow strikes the arrow pass and makes a noise, a clacking noise, that's energy. That's the transformation of velocity into sound by the fact that it's losing, and also loss of accuracy. So Khatra, to my mind, makes the arrow fly as fast as it can, uses most of its kinetic energy that it's going to get from the bow without striking things on here, so we're alleviating that, but also it makes it that the shooting experience feels better, it feels smoother. The vibration seems to be thrown away from your shoulder, from your arm, into the bow. I can't quite explain it. You have to do it. You have to shoot without Khatra and then with Khatra, and then you'll go, oh yeah, it does. Anyway, so I'll show you how it works in the this is Taybogha's form. So we're using this falcon grip on here. The falcon grip is where you have your 3 fingers grip. The thumb kind of is your arrow rest, and then this finger curls up in here. It's not really putting any weight on it, this forefinger, and then the point of pressure is actually there on that. Oh, the arrow's in the way. It might help if I move that. The point of pressure is actually there and there. So you press those two together, so you can see, and you just grip it like that. Right, so we'll shoot. You can actually see the style. Now he says what you do is you press forward with your hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw, and then I'm going to press forward with my left hand, and you can see the bow rotate. I kind of call, he actually mentions it as a Khatra, he calls it rotational. So I'm going to call this rotational Khatra. That's what Taybogha actually mentions, so it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. Right, so here we go. You can see the bow drops forward. Now it only works, see, on a short bow. If I had a long bow, I'm going to stab myself in the ribs every time I do it. What you can do, if you don't want this to hit in here and your arms are a bit shorter, you can just, as you instead of just rotating it forwards like that, you can rotate slightly down to the side. Not much, and it's not a large movement with your arm. It's literally just press at the top. I'll show you one more time. Put the arrow. I'm in the middle. Here we go. That was a really good shot, right in the middle. But you saw how the bow moves, and it's quite it's at the point of release, but you're not forcing it. It's just literally you have a pressure pressing here that's moving forwards and it wants to release. The arrow, actually, when you have the arrow back here, when you're holding the arrow back like that, it actually stops the bow from moving, counteracting your hand pressure. There's a big long lever, so that actually stops it. Watch this. See, so it's this hand with the arrow is actually kind of stopping the bow from tilting, if you like. But as soon as I let go, it just does that. It just wants to go. There you go. That's Khatra. That's I'm never going to get this name right. Taybogha. That's Taybogha's version. So effectively, that's, if you like, the Saracen version of Khatra. It's the one that he was using back in the 14th century. Well, that's it for Taybogha's version of Khatra. Watch out for some other bite-sized versions of JeffTV coming your way shortly. If you like this kind of content, give me a like and hit that subscribe button. That'd be awesome. Catch you later.